That's better. That's better. Now let's see here. Okay, well, y'all can ready to get it right on camera. I'm not getting ready to sit around here like this. Look, y'all, I'm tired and my whole self feel like it. My dress ripped. I tried to rig it. I'm talking about me first. I don't be thinking about getting no sewing kit when I go in Family Dollar, but I'm definitely not gonna give up the cute dress because it's ripped when I can fix it. So welcome, 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 y'all. This is Sylvie, and this is Sylvie 414. I am the rough edge lady around these parts, and I hope y'all have had a good day. This one is disturbing me. That's better. It's disturbing me. I hope y'all have had a good day. Like I am tired, and if any of y'all follow me, y'all have seen that I have been wrapped up for the last couple of days, and this one is not particularly wrapping how I would care for it to wrap, but it is what it is. It's on. But that's because I'm doing my hair underneath here and I don't want to wear it until it's done. So when it's done, I'll take the wraps off. I'm gonna probably wear wraps to work. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh my God, like I have had a long day. I've been doing my hair. I went to bed late last night trying to do my hair. So I was trying to meditate too before I got on and I didn't. So I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm getting ready to get this meditation in. I don't know why I think that's my phone more so than the Wi-Fi. My phone just cutting out. I don't think I restarted today either. I be trying to restart it because it is my in the meantime and in between time phone until I get my new phone since the motherboard broke. But it's working and it goes live, so it is what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and put on this. I'm still on my root chakra, y'all. I'm not gonna rush up out of this root chakra. I'm not gonna talk about any root chakra work tonight. I'm not gonna talk about any anema or shadow work tonight because I did not come live last week. So I do want to try and talk about. I do want to talk about the things that I did not talk about. Um, that I was planning on talking about last week. But last week was the holidays, and my family called me. And I was there. I was there every time. So yeah, let me put on this Solfeggio 396 is the frequency. Solfeggio for the root chakra, and it is to release fear and negative energy. Give me 2 minutes, y'all. Y'all know how I do. You're focusing on a bright red light at your tailbone. You want to feel your breaths, focus them to your tailbone and down through your legs, grounding purposes. And y'all, when I tell y'all, when I be doing it, because I do it other than up here, when I be doing it, and I ain't gonna start my 2 minutes till I finish talking. I just got my eyes closed vibing. But when I be doing it though, for real, I can feel the air. I'm still working on. For some reason, I feel like I'm supposed to be able to see that bright red light when I close my eyes, and I have before. This is still new to me, although I've been doing it for quite some time. Meditation ain't no joke. But I just try to focus on that color right now. But I can feel those breaths moving towards my tailbone and down into my legs is what I was going to say. So, okay, I'm doing 2 minutes now. I'm finna get my Pastor Mike Warren on. I'm gonna accept some things. I'm gonna reject some things. And I'm gonna start here. All right, all right, all right. Let me cut this music off. I needed that. I did. I did. So today, my title. Oh man, I ain't put my title on Facebook. Yes, I did. I told y'all I'm tired. I am tired. Did I don't know. It is what it is at this point. I think I can edit it. I'll edit it. But yeah, so today some things came back to me um, that I believe are associated with this platform that I got years ago. And I believe, based off of the things I'm going to talk about, I'm almost certain that like this is how the platform is going to flow. I'm just waiting on my vision because I'm not trying to rush all of that, because the way I've learned is that a vision is a revelation. So I don't gotta, go just forcing it. It's gonna come. Um, but yeah, I've said it on the platform before: ecclesiastical oppressor, societal oppressor, and political oppressor. I do I do believe that that is what this platform is all about. Now there are other things attached, because the Most High told me to talk to women, and even went so far as correcting my thought process. See, that's gonna bug me until I put it up. Even went so far as correcting my thought process, because I thought it was just for black women. No, no, no. The Most High revealed to me, don't make it a black thing. Make this about women. And the Most High even more so revealed to me, the rough edge, y'all, that it's not just for women. It's mainly for women, but men, catch it. If you need it, catch it. Period. So today, y'all know I be watching podcasts. So as far as the societal oppressor, it's a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about Storm Monroe and Conscious TV speaking about that's killing me. Both speaking about B2K, about two different things, but they kind of came to the same um, point at the end. So I want to speak on that, and we're gonna talk about the Atlanta mom and her 7 children. That's that one was just a bit much. We are going to talk about co-parenting, and let's see. We are going to talk about some things that have gone on in the law: a shooting, questioning overkill. Let's see. And we're going to talk about the Jezebel spirit. I think that's it. Wait a minute. We're going to talk about the Catholic Church and what another YouTuber had to say about what he had to say about the United States. Y'all, I am tired. I am so tired. So I am gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. Cause the rap don't want my glasses on, and they was just on. Okay, as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. Okay, so as far as B2K and them, so I don't really have to go into what Storm and I'm trying to cross my legs in a little space. It's not really feasible. Um, that's not comfortable. I need another way, like, cause I'm comfortable like this. Okay, that okay, that works. I guess I want to back up and sit back in the chair. I don't know. I, I was on edge literally. I'm on edge because I'm tired and look on a real note. I'm finna get back to B2K. But on a real note, I ain't want to come on. But since I got a word to come on, regardless of whether there was anybody sitting here viewing or not, that word meant whether you want to come on or not. I've gone through that. I had my season in this where I did it how I wanted to do it, when I wanted to do it, and all that good jazz. And now I'm in my season where I got to do it. And I believe I'm doing. I don't know if it's supposed to stay at this time. Or, I mean, maybe not. But I believe that the Most High knew that this would be more of a challenge for me than 9 o'clock. And for real, 9 o'clock doesn't work with my work schedule. So yeah, can't do that. And it won't work with the new one either. So yeah, that part. So really don't have to talk about what they was talking about. Basically, with B2K. Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at my setup. Basically, with B2K, he was stating, they were both stating that, well, Omarion has a documentary. Just trying to get my thoughts together. Omarion has a documentary coming out. So that's what Conscious was talking about, documentary. But he was basically like, I just know I ain't gonna watch no Omarion documentary. I'm just being real. But he just feels like more people will watch it if there was focus on what happened to them. Because does Omarion even have music? I think it was said that he's about to try and drop an album, but I don't know. Maybe he has a lot of fans. I don't know. It's Omarion, so neither here nor there. And Storm, I forget I forget how he got on BT2K. They could have both been talking about the verses because the verses was a hot mess. But Storm basically said that he believes that Raz B is the most balanced of the group because he has at least been working on healing. And I'll say everything I'm talking about is allegedly. But this has been for years and years and years that they've been talking about Chris Stokes and the things that they had to go through as children in the music industry. A lot of the podcasters that I watch speak about this music industry and how horrendous it is in this music industry. And I make sure, my dear Christians, that when I make that statement, that I post cursor, because 9 times out of 10 I don't precursor, but I post cursor. It has been said that the gospel music industry is far worse than the R&B and hip hop industry or the secular industry. Yeah, far worse. So don't allow Romans to 2-1 you like the Most High does me with Romans 2-1. Because the music industry, I believe that there is something that the Most High is wanting to do with music of all genres. I believe that that scale of music that I just meditated to, that's the only scale of music that I meditate to. And I believe that there is one of them out there that is, I don't know. I would have to do the research, but it's something about that 417 frequency. I don't think it's a solfeggio frequency though, but yeah, I do. I believe the Most High has allowed that because you can't listen to everything because all the frequencies ain't good for you. Some of the frequencies are totally, and that is in both directions, and the goal is balance. But yeah, I mean, for whatever reasons, these young men have taken different paths. Um, Storm talked about the whole of it. The fact that Omarion is having to deal with a group member that has not only befriended, I'll say, no, that wasn't befriending, not only slept with one of his girlfriends, but two, one of his girlfriends and one of and his child's mother. So, but without making excuses, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Without making excuses, I'm going to say that when people go through trauma, they respond to it. It's all too often they're not shown much compassion based off of their traumatic experiences. And I understand the whole concept of adults needing to get over things and everything like that. But we all walk our different paths and we all get over things and heal from things at on our own different time frames. We all have our different processes that we have to go through. And sometimes some of us don't latch on to that process early. Some people never latch on. You can either show compassion or exit stage left, but you really can't control how someone takes their walk. And while it will be healing, very much healing and therapeutic for them to be able to speak about this, everybody might not be ready. Omarion might not be ready. Like Storm was talking about Chris Stokes notes. I ain't gonna say Storm. Let me take that back because I don't remember which one of them was talking about it. But one of them was talking about Chris Stokes messing with Marcus and then sending Marcus in there to mess with the boys. And all I thought about was, well, ain't him and Omarion brothers? And I could be wrong, but I think they brothers. So did he have to mess with him too? YouTube lighting still bad. I gotta figure that part out. We're gonna figure it out. I don't like that lighting. Facebook's is a little better. But so yeah, it's not. I am 48, and I'm still walking through a healing process. Healing happens daily, once you get to the point, I ain't just start my healing process, don't get me wrong. But there were things that took a little longer. And there were people that got frustrated with my process. So it helps me to understand somebody else's process, not to condone poor behavior or anything to that point, but to understand that everybody go through their process. And since I go through my own, I really don't have time to just sit around and knock people for the way they go through their process, if they go through their process or anything like that. Now, what I will say is I am a person that draws people. So if by chance you are in my space and you would like to be in my space and stay in my space, I can't really change up who I am for you. So if your behavior, I'm not even the person that's going to be like, my peace is because you got to stay away from me. That's the only way I'm going to get my peace, because I've learned that that's not what peace is all about. Peace is not putting people out your life and getting through, because if it was, it would be no such thing as peace in the midst of a storm. Peace in the midst of a storm. But if I allow you into my space and you think that I will allow your behavior or your situation or where you are to invade on my space, that's not going to happen. I will find the most loving way to ask questions. I don't condone nor do I rationalize poor behavior. I would like to see people learn how to do better things. So with that being said, let's move on. So when I thought about fears, they talked storms. Now that was Storm. He talked about how the M word. Look, I'm following the YouTube rules, and the M word, or what happened to the B2Kers. So when that happens to little boys, because when it happens to little girls, it happens too. When it happens to little girls, you become overly sexualized. Some little girls, a lot of little girls, minty little girls. So it would happen that way in young men too. Overly sexualized. What I found, and this is based off of shows I've watched, people I've known, just because I am a watcher, I have said the Most High turned my nosiness into something that could be used. I watch with purpose. But what I found is that a lot of young men, teenage young boys are overly sexualized. And I ain't gonna say their parents condone it, but let's take Boozy, for instance. You got Boozy out here getting his teenage son a prostitute. That's a grown woman. That's kind of like M. That's a grown woman. That's a little delusional to me, because go get a little girl a prostitute. As a matter of fact, that same little boy, because I can't imagine he getting a prostitute every day. That same little boy, let's say he was 13 or 14, he's sexually active, his daddy getting a prostitutes. But who he going to have sex with on a regular basis? The 13 to 14-year-old girls that probably done been traumatized and have become overly sexualized as well. I just believe that's trauma in and of itself, but that's just my opinion, because I feel the same. I didn't have sons, but I can't imagine that I would not have. I feel the same way I feel like my 13-year-old daughter ain't got no business out there having sex. I feel like my 13-year-old son ain't got no business out here having sex. But all too many times I have heard it be the case that the boy ain't got to bring the baby home. But then now I'm hearing about all these women that mess up households. But you have mothers of teenagers saying the boy ain't got to bring the baby home. Would that not give a young man a lax idea about how to take care of a child that they ain't got no business out there having anyway? I could talk about it. I promise you, I've been certified and qualified to talk about the things I've been talking about. Why can I talk about the teenagers out there doing it? Because I was a teenager out there doing it. I wasn't even a teenager. I wasn't even a tween. I was 12. Yeah, that part. So I can talk about it because I know what it's like. So I have to thank the Most High God because I had two young ladies that for sure and for certain waited until they were 18. I was so excited about that. And I say that often. I can prove one and I trust the other because they are each other's keeper. So what that oldest one did, that youngest one followed in. That oldest one ain't had sex till she was 18. I promise you that youngest one followed. Because once the Most High gave them that type bond, and it took some getting to, those chicks are but anywho, yeah, that part. So it can create all kinds of things like that. You know, little boys mess around and get in and be trying to figure out whether they like little boys or like little girls. Sometimes that goes into adulthood. Sometimes it never changes. There's trauma attached. And a lot of times, then this is the part that burns me up the most. We're going to look at a woman that do it, and we're going to be light on her. Every time I turn around and see anything about a woman messing with a younger dude, a boy, she ain't getting it like a man. She ain't getting it like a man. That's just like that. I'm just gonna throw a little Duval in there real quick. I wasn't even planning on talking about Lil Duval. Curveball. Lil Duval. and precursor. I'm 48, so I'm walking into spirituality, coming from Christianity with a real religious background in it. So, for me to be watching P-Valley in the first place, even my daughters knew that I was doing the thing for me to be watching P-Valley in the first place because some things I skip over. And let me just tell you, it's not just sexual stuff because my nephew wanted to send me American Horror Story. He was like, Auntie, I was going to send you, and I watch horror stuff. But some things get a little bit too much for me. Auntie, I was going to send you American Horror Story, but I didn't think you would watch it. However, I do. I did it when he was saying it. But I did let my girls talk me into watching that. But P-Valley was a little much for me because I wasn't used to seeing an Uncle Clifford type of gay man. I have gay. When I lost my cousin Allison Dwayne Smith, that almost took me down. And I've known he was gay all my life. And even before I moved to North Carolina, I loved to know that I was going to be able to see him when I got there. I ain't care about, I promise I ain't care about that. Wade at Taco Bell, he used to wear his black nail polish, his blonde hair. I love Wade, and Wade will cuss you out right now. nail polish. Way more nail polish. Uncle Clifford, and I watch a vlogger, and I love my vlogger. And that's who I said Uncle Clifford reminds me of. I saw the vlogger first. But that beard and all that long hair, it threw me for a loop before I even started watching P Valley. So once I put my mind on it, I'm like, this show can't be called P Valley and just be all about P, because Uncle Clifford is up here. And all I thought about was Uncle Clifford got so much fire, you is not gonna not see Uncle Clifford get right. That was all my thought process was. You're not gonna not see Uncle Clifford get right. So when Uncle Clifford and Little Murder got right, I wrapped my brain around it. I don't even know the other dude's name. Well, when him and Lil Murder got right the other day, even though I saw it about to happen, like I knew it was about to happen, it threw me for a little loop. It threw me for a little loop. So I can understand in a man, because most men, and I said I was going to talk about anemia, and I'm not going into depth, but that's what anemia is all about, being unbalanced in that way. My aunt, my sister said her mama, my sister won't watch sex scenes, and I feel like that's something she need to work on. She said her mama be stuck in them. I said that's because she would never watch them. I said, and I believe that once she becomes balanced in it, that's going to be a healing place for my aunt. My aunt is so hardened. When she told me she was watching the sex scenes, I was just like, oh my God, Rosa? Oh my God. But that could be for many reasons, up to and including her anemia being on the totally side, because it's not supposed to be on the totally side for either sex. Feminine and masculine. Feminine and masculine. It's supposed to be balanced. So a lot of men, anemia is totally man. Even I watch Willie D, and as balanced as I say he is, his anemia is still somewhere over there near totally. It might be a little closer to balance than a lot of these other men I be watching and stuff, but it's still closer to totally on the man's side. I think I was watching Angela Stanton maybe, and she was talking about how she knows she walks. She used to walks a lot in her masculine. A lot of women, Most High is softening me. The Most High is softening me. These walls went up early. They went up early. I put the boxing gloves on early, buddy. I felt like I had to. It is what it is. So moving on. So next we are going to talk about, and all of this is still societal oppression, because this is what I got today. Because I got a little bit about the society. I got a little bit about the church. I got a little bit about the government. And it's not major about the government. It's just an evaluation that Willie D made, and I think it's a good one, according to the platform that I do. But the Atlanta mom, man, 7 babies. She set the house on fire. This is deep. 7 babies, she set the house on fire. 3 of the babies died. 3 of the babies jumped out the window. To save themselves, they jumped out the window. And one of the babies was in the hospital in critical condition. And I do so apologize, because like I said, this was 2 Mondays ago. This was from last Monday, and I was supposed to go in and do to see if there were any updates. But I will come back with any updates to see if there's any updates. Now, when Willie D talked about the story, he brought in Andrea Yates into it. And I know some of y'all young, a lot of y'all young that watch me, so I don't know if y'all know who Andrea Yates is. She was from Texas, and this happened years and years ago. She drowned her 5 babies. She went from having the death penalty to not guilty by reason of insanity. Now, Willie D, if any of y'all watch his platform, y'all know Willie D talked about the Bronx in comparison to the Us's. And he's basically wondering, is she going to get the same treatment? Because her husband is stating that she suffers from mental illness. Now, I watched 2 platforms speak about this. Lead attorney spoke about it too. And lead attorney is like, why you leave her at home? That's my thing, y'all. That's my thing with this one. Why would you leave her at home? She becomes your responsibility if that's your wife and those are your 7 children, and you know that she's suffering from mental illness that bad. Now, she has her own responsibility. But if you're her husband, the leader, the head, you have a responsibility to her as well. I have to replenish my stuff because my glass is sitting on my neck like that. Lets me know that I need to make my eyeglass chains again. I had eyeglass chains all prepared to begin to sell, and I don't have them all. And I don't have them anymore. I'll say that, but I do know that the Most High is going to restore everything that I lost in these last few months. And I got a word that said it just like 2 days ago. I know you've been through a lot in these last few months. We want to restore. I lost everything that I was planning on making, my little jewelry and all that stuff like that. But not planning on, because I was making it. Like, that was not a plan. Like, I had things made. But yeah, back to the subject, because I will get distracted sometimes, y'all. So I said, when I started talking about shadow work, I said, if it's not something that you can do on your own, you need to get help. But it's not feasible to think that there's no help needed. And when I started coming on this live, and it is what it is, I talk about some of the things. Look, I was on comedy hype, and one of the things that I'm about to talk about made the only woman up there said, "You getting ready to make me agree with some of these Kevin Samuelites." Because I will say on this platform that I'm on my Kevin Samuels, because I'm supposed to talk to the women. And while a lot of black women think he was just talking to black women, he wasn't. I watched him. I did not just see videos pop up on TikTok and this, that, and the other. I watched him. I've seen all races of women on that platform. Was a majority of the women that he had up there black? Yes. But guess what? He didn't make no phone calls out. They made phone calls in, period. So, with that being said, your mental health is everything. Your psyche is your mental health. Babies is at risk for this, even if it's not on the level of killing your children. It's spirits getting killed because you have Parents, mothers competing with daughters. That should never be. Mothers jealous of daughters. Mothers so broken that they're bringing men into their house who are leaving their children, and I won't say just daughters, their children unsafe because these men coming for your sons too. Can we not continue to normalize that these young men don't get messed with? Can we not? I watch eyes. I look deep into them for the most part. Facebook cutting up, but it's all good. It is what it is. I know what Facebook trying to do to me. And it ain't Facebook. I ain't gonna blame it on Facebook because that's the Wi-Fi. But I know what. That's an inside and it is not a joke. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Even on 11, it is not a joke for reals. But yeah. So if it's too hard, counseling is in place. And I want to say that to any Christian that may be looking and watching me. Because a lot of times Christians just want to leave Jesus. Let this mind be in me that is in Christ. Let this mind be in me. The mind of Jesus would not want to stay in a place that is not fruitful, that is not productive, that is not healthy and healed. So if you hear this and you say leave it to Jesus, that's delusional. And delusional what we're talking about. The Most High don't like a false balance. That's totally. Healing, yes, it should be for you. But once you bring the babies into it, and a lot of times we bringing the babies into it. We're going to talk about co-parenting. We bringing the babies into it, and we got mess. I told y'all my daughter said, "Ma, can two people who are broken be in a relationship?" And I'm just like, not a healthy one. Just let's lay it out on the line. Because generally, two people that's broken, all too often ain't trying to be fixed. And somebody is trying to be fixed from what I've seen, men and women, they do it on their own. And I ain't saying they don't ever get out there and get down with the get down. I ain't saying that. But I'm saying they not trying to go out there and be in no whole relationships because they know that this work that they is trying to do, that they are doing. Look, I've been telling people, welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been telling people to take the try out all week long. So I'm not going to put the try in. Take the try out, y'all. Take the try out. Take the try. We just doing it. Period. So on and on and on we go. We co-parenting. So the first situation that I want to talk about is the lead attorney helping a dad keep his parental rights. He said the dad was not a good parent. And when I say not a good parent, I don't mean he was abusive or anything like that. Some people just don't know how to parent properly. It is what it is. And some people learn how to parent a little more with discipline than others. He probably wasn't well. He didn't discipline well. He may not have shown enough compassion. That's where the anema fall. That's what brings you guys over from totally. Your compassion. Guys, male and female energy does not mean that one has to be gay. If one is gay, when they reach that has nothing to do with their male and female energy. Or you wouldn't have a scene like P Valley, cause who gonna walk in that dude's face? Like for real. If you see a dude like that on the street, all I've been saying about this dude is somebody liable to end up dead messing with that one. Who gonna walk in his face? That man, anema, is over and totally has nothing to do with his sexuality. He wanna be softer, but he done put on a facade for so long that he really walks in that thing. Facades can become your truth. It's not a good thing that a facade becomes your truth. See, we ain't even got there in shadow work yet. I'm excited, y'all. This is new to me, but I am excited. I'm excited. I have had blessings from YouTube subscribers like all day today, for real. All day today. I came over. Look, y'all. I came up with a name because, look, I'm studying. That's why I watch podcasts like I do. I promise I never watched podcasters before. I watch these podcasters because I learn from a lot of them. I see the what to do's, what to not to do's. You know, it's some good podcasters out there. It's some podcasters that I have stopped watching for my own personal reasons. You know, I've gone in and cleared out my some of my subscriptions because if I ain't gonna watch, it ain't no good with ain't no sense in you sitting there. But I came up with a name for my subscribers. And I don't just want my name to be for the people that follow me on YouTube. I want my name to be for the people that just follow me, period. But I'm not going to mention it yet because I want to run about my babies, because my babies are in the age range of most of the people that subscribe to me, and they'll be like, "Mom, that's for old people." But it has to be balanced as well, because while I lost a YouTube following as far as age range, I have a wide expansive age range following on Facebook. So my name has to be balanced, but I notice everybody that I watch has a name for the people that follow them. And I would like to do that. So anywho, so he helps the dad keep his rights. He said the dad wasn't a good parent, but he loved his children. So bam, I'm gonna try to do this as fast as possible because I said I didn't want to go too long. All right. So he was supposed to be going to get his baby. He went to go get his baby for his visitation time. As he's going to get his baby, mama tells the baby she got a surprise for the baby when she come back. Baby getting all excited, want to know what the surprise is. Mama don't want to tell the baby what the surprise is. Baby get upset. Baby don't want to go with daddy no more. That's insanity right there. That you could do that. That's insanity that you would do that to that child because you have tension with that father. So baby don't want to go with daddy no more. Baby is like, is it a puppy? Is it a puppy? I can't tell you. I'm going to tell you when you get back. You got this baby think she getting a puppy. She been wanting a puppy. Is it a puppy? Is it a puppy? I can't tell you. So now she don't want to go with daddy. So daddy's like, no, this is my time. You going. You going. She goes with daddy. She's all to pieces. She don't want to go with daddy. So she's crying. She is all to pieces. They have a terrible visit. She goes back home. Daddy calls her the next day. Her surprise was Bible study. I ain't even gonna stay on that story because that was clownery, period, on mommy's part. You feel me? Okay, as long as you feel me. Then we're gonna move on to McDonald's Mom. That's what I call her. Not gonna stay here long either. McDonald's Mom. Now, lead attorney said, as far as the law is concerned, that young man was wrong. Lead attorney, been a lawyer. He was a lawyer for 27 years. He was guardian ad litem for children. As far as the law, that young man was wrong. Like if she, I just can't imagine that the case wouldn't have been thrown out. But he said, as far as the law, that young man was wrong. But everybody had some accountability in it then, because that young man was taking care of his son. And if anything, you should have called him and said they need some food. I'm going to leave that there. You should have called them and said they need some food, because with 4 children, I know some people that have gotten food stamps. With 4 children, you get enough food stamps to feed them babies all month, first and foremost. So if you don't have enough food stamps to feed them babies all month, I think I said this before, you're probably selling your food stamps. That's neither here nor there. I don't know how to do with that. You're probably selling your food stamp, but you put it out there. So I can speak on it. So then your nails done, her did, everything did. Nails did, her did, everything did. Phone, you recording on. And you want to hold the man to an expectation that you had while y'all were dating. And he could have. He said if it was 1 or 2 children, he would have. But it's 3 extra miles. And he honestly could have not had it to do every time he brought his son food after y'all broke up. I guess he was just trying to be good when he broke up, but that means he's taking care of 4 children. I just feel like there are things she could have done that would have made it better. Like I said, a simple call could have made him get a pizza. Could have made them stretch that McDonald's. Got two, I think 20-piece nuggets, like $5. Could have got 2 of them. They could have ate nuggets. But instead, you wanted to, making videos, trying to get famous, tell one to make a video that everybody think is a fake video, but you said it's a real video because you don't want on some platforms. She said it's a real video. So if you said it's a real video, if you like it, I love it. But accountability, where there's no accountability, there is delusion. I understand all the concept of wanting to keep peace in your house and all that stuff like that. All of that can be an issue. The lead attorney explained all that. All of that can be an issue. You can put your son in a not so great place with his siblings. But that's really up to the mama to have order in her household. Because inevitably, you can't, I don't know, they don't tell you about the other fathers. But that father's taking care of his child. So you can't say you have a deadbeat in that case. So you do have to keep some order in your household, man. You have to do that. So then there was, and I forget who I was watching this one on, but they were focused on the fact that this dad was recording because it could have went very, very wrong, because this mother of his children and her mother were out there. He was just trying to get his babies and take them for the weekend. They out there, they having a fit. They is acting whole hood. And I'm not gonna go through and say these have been all different races of women that I've been telling you about so far. All different races. That's why the most I say, do not make the black body. All different races. And while the young lady on Comedy Hype was like, basically, these are the women that Kevin Samuels highlights and wants it to be known as far as the black community. This is not the majority of black women, which is not. It's probably not the majority of women at all, but it still needs to be addressed. Because some of these women are the same women. They're going to want some of these Kevin Samuels men that You would be the same woman that thinks decorum, decorum. I didn't ask for my etiquette courses, and I said I was going back to take one again. I did not ask for my etiquette courses. I'm going back to take one again because I need to learn, and I think I know it for the most part, but I think I need to pay attention to the detail of my plating and stuff like that this time. Not because I didn't get some of the stuff that I needed, because I know how to carry myself in a public situation, and don't get me wrong, I have had some fire, but I'm not going to rationalize it. Not going to rationalize it. I am still in search of a therapist. But in the meantime and in between time, I am doing things to ensure that till I find a therapist, I'm therapy around this piece. I'm not trying to look at myself and see, look, it said that healing was about, this is shout out, shout out to one of my group members. And I don't like to really call names, but one of her videos today basically said that healing is not about becoming your best self, about learning how to love yourself fully, the good, the bad, the indifferent. We so much want to suppress things and put on this persona or facade, instead of learning to accept the good, the bad, the indifferent. This mother and daughter, they out there on the video accusing men of hitting them, except the video is showing none of that. All of this you're doing in front of your children. And you think you're supposed to be raising some well-balanced children. Kardashianville. Some of these people live somewhere in Kardashianville. So next we're going to talk about a little bit of things going on in the law. 90 shots fired. 90 shots fired. 60 shots landed. Akron, Ohio. Overkill, you think? What weapon could any person on this earth could have possibly had that would have made you feel the need to put 90 shots into that person? If 10 of them didn't kill him, I don't know what did, but 2 of them probably killed him. And please forgive me, 60 shots into that person, but you fired 90 rounds. And he was going in the opposite direction. And my whole question was, I was on a platform, and that was my question when I was on that platform. When did it become not law anymore for you to shoot someone running in the opposite direction? And the thing that makes it law is you feel like they have a dangerous weapon, but if they are running in the opposite direction, are they using it? If they turn around, if they run in the opposite direction, they turn around in your direction, then maybe start shooting. But this man got out the car, got back in the car, and they saying he fired a round. Them videos, sometimes when they be showing them videos and you got to hear that audio, I don't always be hearing what they hear. I didn't hear the round that they said he fired. They say he fired a round. I don't think the podcaster who I was watching heard the round that was said to be fired either. I could be wrong. But whatever happened, he got back in that car because he was fearful. He drove that car a little further. He got in the driver's seat and exited out of the passenger seat and started running away from the cops. And they shot at him 90 times and hit him 60. I would like to see hellfire come down on the cops. I would. I ain't gonna lie. Because, yeah. Then you got Mr. Cremo out here, mass murdering and stuff. Still here. He's still here. Mr. Cremo is still here. I'm going to leave that one right there. I'm going to leave it right there. So, I don't like when I do this. I'm going to speak about what I wrote not because I remember what Angela Stanton was speaking about when she used this word exuberant, but I know she was speaking about the government in some sense. And she was speaking about them having an exuberant flow of male and female energy. So don't quote me on what was said and how it was said, because what I got from that when I looked at exuberant is what I was trying to figure out, and it's an overflow of things. And that took me back to what I just said. Your male and female energy is not supposed to be an exuberance. That's what I thought when she said that. It's not supposed to be an exuberance. Overflow is good sometimes, but not when it's attached to a negative thing. If you're doing anything negatively, that's not a good thing. So you should not be in an exuberant flow of male and female energy, because that will put you in totally, and that's where we staying away from, y'all. We staying away from totally. All right. So next, the next relationship, co-parent. Well, this wasn't really co-parenting. This to me, we talking about the Jezebel spirit now, because I heard that on 2 different podcasts. So I wanted to make sure that I brought that into the conversation. And before I go on and talk about the story, let me tell y'all what the Jezebel spirit is, and let me go ahead on and precursor on the Jezebel spirit, because don't let it fool you because it's attached to the name Jezebel. This is a spirit. Spirit has no gender. That means it can hit a school. You remember me when I had said, if y'all need it, catch it. So don't tune your ears out because I'm talking about the Jezebel spirit, because it can be man or woman. So the Jezebel spirit, Jezebel, first and foremost, for those who may not know or read the Bibles, is the wife of King Ahab. And the Jezebel spirit is going to be the spirit of murder, iniquity, and sexual promiscuity. That sexual promiscuity, I say, is attached to that dopamine effect. I just posted the video about that as well. But it's attached to this Jezebel spirit. Says she was a thorn in Elijah's side and led Israel astray in foreign essence of idols. Sometimes it's for a certain group. Sometimes it's for the women. Sometimes it's for the men. Sometimes it's for everybody. They led Israel astray. That's for a certain group. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because the Most High already had me gonna talk about it. I got that stuff this week. I'm just talking about the stuff that I got for last Monday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Last, because it's going to fall into the ecclesiastical oppressor. Wait for it. A disposition or demonic influence that causes to create rift in churches and marriages through cunning, deception, and seduction. Jezebel spirit. So catch it. The young lady and her baby go into the convenience store to buy a bag of chips for the baby. Another EBT card. Y'all won't be putting your EBT card out there. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I mean, come on. He runs your EBT card. The bodega worker runs your EBT card. He said it don't work. You say, did you try this food? I think that the bodega worker runs a lot of EBT cards. So it was a bodega worker. It's probably in New York because I think they're the only ones I know that have bodegas. Chicago may have some, but they're gonna be in cities like that. But I think this was in New York. So New York run cash and food. So I know that he know how to use the EBT machine is all I said, because he worked there every day. But he ran it again for her and said it didn't work. He wasn't rude or anything like that. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, I have a whole issue with foreigners in our neighborhoods who don't want to treat us right when we walk in their stores. I say righteous indignation. I say fire for them. And it be respectful fire. But I say fire for them because one thing for sure and two things for certain. I'm not going to give you my money. And you think you're going to treat me in kind of way. That's not going to happen. So she gets upset. And she's like, let me call the card. I think he said, no, because that's not going to make it work. Like calling the card to let me know how much you got on it is not going to make it work. It's not working. So when he didn't want her to call the card, she gets fumigated, cusses him out. Did I say fumigated? She gets infuriated, cusses him out, and leaves and comes back with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, not the father of her baby, her boyfriend. He commences to cussing the bodega worker out. And Lovely T said this. I had no clue because I don't be checking for that kind of stuff. Lovely T said he had on the Mary shirt. I know what an Mary shirt was, so I went in and plugged that joker in the Google. Because the chips was $1. Said she had $3.47 on a food stamp card. And the chips was $1. And your boo had on a Mary shirt. And when I went and plugged that jank into Google, the first thing that came up was jeans, and there was a whole G. A whole $1,000. And the shirt was $890. Unless it was a knockoff. And even if it was a knockoff, you probably, because you want to rock the Amiri knockoff, you probably paid maybe $100 for your Amiri knockoff. If you had $100, you had $1. But you chose to go in the store and fight this battle. Y'all could just pay for the chips, and not only did you go in the store and fight the battle, you went behind this man's counter. And now he is no longer able to be accountable because he is no longer with us. And he had 9 children of his own. Can broken people be in healed relationships? Well-balanced people would have gave that man $1 and got up out that store. Period. Period. And I like you to do my dollar right. I'm gonna say a whole thing, and I don't eat McDonald's. And if I do, I don't buy McChickens. But if I go in that joke and buy a McChicken and it's cold, I'm getting ready to give it back to you. Because I don't want no cold food. And since I worked for McDonald's for over a year, and we was told that we not gonna get the customers that with which we would not eat. I ain't gonna eat no cold food. Don't give me none. Period. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So now this young man is gone. He got 9 children that are fatherless. Over $1. Over $1. And I called the Jezebel spirit out on that based off of Lovely T's. She called the Jezebel spirit out on that. And I would attach it based off the sexual promiscuity, because I feel like when you're operating in such a low space as far as your energy is concerned, you are driven by your dopamine. You are driven by your dopamine. She was very narcissistic. That young lady was very narcissistic. But as far as that Jezebel spirit, I would attach that to the fact that you're walking in an unhealed sexual relationship. And look, I'm watching a conscious TV talking about Kishian rock, and blue something. He's a rapper. Look, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm keeping up because of. But basically, he was talking about her lack of self-esteem, and just because you're a narcissist does not mean that you're self-esteem. If you're a narcissist, that's the epitome of low self-esteem, because extremely high self-esteem is equivalent to low self-esteem. And nothing more extremely high self-esteem than a good old narcissist for you. I'm just saying. So the next story that spoke about the Jezebel spirit was a little different for me, because I'm going to say this. That young lady and myself and Tasha K at the same time said, this is going to be the case of the century. Cora Jakes Coleman stole my baby. So while the young lady was on Tasha K, she was telling the story of how long she's known them. And she was speaking about, I gotta drink some water, y'all. Give me a split second, please. I was trying to make some tea. I couldn't find my little pot, and I don't like to boil water in the microwave. Cora Jakes Coleman stole my baby. For those who may not know, Cora Jakes Coleman is T.D. Jakes' daughter. So this young lady has been in their lives since the age of 15. She may have been in their life longer than that. I think she's been in their life longer than that. She just tells her the Jezebel spirit comes from a story that she tells of when she was 15, an encounter that she had with Mrs. Jakes. Allegedly before all of this, but she tells of her about to take a picture of Bishop Jakes, and um, as she goes in to put her hand on his shoulder, she said, like taking a picture with her daddy. Sarita Jakes comes up and tells her to get your hands off my spirit, get your hands off my husband with your Jezebel spirit. Said she let her stay for the prom. It was some kind of a prom. She let her stay for the prom and then sent her home at 1:00 in the morning with an absolute adult limo driver. 15-year-old, you sent home at 1:00 in the morning alone with a male limo driver and adult limo driver at 1:00 in the morning. However, the adult male limo driver told the young lady to write Miss Jakes a letter to let her know how she felt because she was crying. She was like all to pieces. Tasha K, before the young lady told her that the limo driver told her to write a letter, Tasha K was telling her to write a letter. That's what prompted her to say, that's what the limo driver told me to do. She said, I didn't do it at that time, but she did it years later. She did it years later, and as soon as she said she did it years later, Tasha K said, you were traumatized? Yes. Because you just called me a whole Jezebel because you compared me to what you probably, I'm certain. There is a stereotype. All stereotypes have some hint of truth to them. And there is a stereotype attached to pastors' children. And so any friend that they have, because you, especially if you are one that wants to push it, if you totally live in totally, which is definitely Kardashianville, then you're going to try to push it off on their friends. Their friends made them do this and their friends made them do that, when 9 times out of 10 it's your children that be leading their friends down some paths that their friends might not otherwise go, because their parents may be raising them a little more balanced. And that's not just your average pastor. That is one of the most very famous pastors in the world. She talked a lot about everything, but because she has a court case, that's why Tasha K said this is going to be the case of the century. Like when I first heard about this Cora Jakes stuff, I went to her Instagram page. I forget who I was watching that said go to it the first time. I went to her Instagram page, and first and foremost, she does not look well about her eyes. She does not look well about her eyes at all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And secondly, none of those babies look well about their eyes. All of those babies look like they're in danger. Every last one. And that's what the young lady said on Tasha K. She said she liked babies. I don't know if she liked being a mama, but she liked babies. She liked to put on the facade like she liked being a mama. It make her look pretty. Now, after all this stuff started coming out, Cora Jakes was married. She filed for a divorce, and now they're saying that her husband was touching the children. That young lady is vouching for the husband. That young lady is saying she don't believe for one moment that that husband would do that. But the family is putting on a whole persona like everything is peaches and cream, buddy. I said, Lord, you know, the two men that they're talking about right now, and this is ecclesiastical oppressor. This is part of ecclesiastical oppressor, while it's talking about relationships too, which is societal oppressor. This is ecclesiastical oppressor because all too often we worship pastors I was at a church for 10 years where if the pastor was gone, and I see that it still goes on, it had to click in my brain on yesterday. Oh, that's why it's empty in here. The pastor's gone. We don't got to come to church. Is the church house open? I mean, if you wanted to go to church every Sunday, you start going just because the pastor, like, nobody else can't give you no word. You worshiping the pastor, that is most definitely hindering a relationship with the Most High. How you really gonna do what the Most High say if you think it's only gonna come through your pastor's mouth? It could come from your neighbor's mouth that's sitting next to you that day if you was in place. IJS. These are words that the Most High spoke to me. Order, offering, obedience. Cause we sit back and we do a lot of judging. The same person that ain't gonna go to church because they pastor ain't there, they're gonna look at somebody that having sex outside of marriage and tear them down. Gonna look at somebody that smoke a cigarette or a blunt or take a drink and tear them down, buddy. You don't go to church because the pastor ain't there. Where they do that at? Somewhere in Kardashianville. The crazies, church folk. So that's not relational folk. That's not people that's in a relationship with the Most High that belong to a local assembly. I'm just saying. So yes, I'm going to be following to see what's going on with the Jakes family. I was just saying, I was telling the Most High, that's two of the men and you pulled me away from them. I'm being transparent here. When I stopped watching both of them, Creflo Dollar and TD Jakes, it was more so like a jump. Go ahead and jump ship. You got what you needed. Go ahead and jump ship. I said, Lord, there's one more out there. Now they're gonna drag the rest down. You should get dragged. I ain't gonna call no names. Come let the Most High do what he do. And once the Most High do what he do, then I come back up here on the platform and say, okay, let's go to 30, because it's another one that I love, that I believe is worse than them two put together. He blonde. Not a stand. I take that one back, please. Take that one back. Okay. All right. We almost there, y'all. We are almost there. Oh yeah, it was another definition of the Jezebel spirit that I wanted to talk about, because this is where I was saying, men, don't take yourself out of it, because I went to those first definitions came from Christianity.org.com, and then I went to GotQuestions.org, and it was saying sexual looseness in women, and then teachings of false doctrine in men or women. And that's where I said it's a spirit. Spirits don't have genders. Sexual looseness in peoples. Because somewhere along the line, we felt like it was okay for men to be sexually loose and women to be sexually loose. And women not to be sexually loose. But sexual looseness does nobody any good on either part. Like if you out there being loose with your body, you're letting all kinds of spirits in your body. Even if you're wearing condoms, you don't never know when the condom is gonna break. You don't know what you're gonna get in this day and time. You just don't know. Like you just want to be out there sticking your chest out, using your D for your manhood, using what you got to get what you want if you're a woman. I don't know. But at some point, it has to get old, because Where does it really get you? And I always say to my ladies, we and our goodies is attached to our emotions. Get out here and just get to be just loose all over the place, and you go home and feel what? And I believe that about a man too. He probably won't never tell nobody. But if you just loose all over the place, you is loose for a reason. Cause most females that's loose, they loose for a reason. So dude, if you lose for a reason. And I had a podcast to call out some reasons. And all of them were attached to you hiding who your true self is. And I'll leave that right there. All right. So now we're going to get on to some more ecclesiastical oppressor. Because this one I have been talking about for years. When I started this platform, coming live just on Facebook, in my study, I've always questioned the Most High about how do you teach about Jesus from the Old Testament, because I got a word to go to the Old Testament and teach about Jesus. Once I got to the Old Testament, I was just doing Proverbs. I got a message to do a deep dive into the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, and I do plan on getting a real Torah. Just haven't as of yet. But as I was studying those books, not just reading the Bible and just perceiving it. Now, don't get me wrong, I will read a verse, because the verse that I read in Proverbs today, that's why I named it "Let's Talk False Balances," because the Most High do not like false balance. He like balance. False balances mean you somewhere in totally. Proverbs 11:1 said the Most High like just balances. That's in everything. That is in your well-being. That is in your finances. That is in your attitude. That is in all the parts of your well-balanced. So if you're not well-balanced, you better find a way to get there. It's all I can say. But I've been talking about the Roman Catholic Church since I've been coming live. Welcome. I've been talking about the Roman Catholic Church since I've been coming live on Facebook only. I didn't just go try to find the Roman Catholic Church. Every study that I do and it comes up says Christians are not supposed to be following the Roman Catholic Church. I can say that to Christians and they'll be like, oh, I'm going to just blow that one off today. Those are the same ones that's going to check you if you're smoking, check you if you having sex before marriage, check you if you living with somebody and you ain't married. They going to check you for everything they can see. But you cool with doing something that is, if you study to show yourself approved, it says that we are not supposed to be doing. I just got a word again, and I was supposed to be giving that. I told y'all I'm tired. I was supposed to be talking about the number 711 today, because the number 711 is the number that told me last year. I got a memory last week. No. My cousin, my sister called me last week and told me she saw the number 711. I was like, that's one of my numbers. I said, but I can't remember what it means, so let me go look it up again. That was the number that sent me to the Apocrypha in the first place. Sent me back to the Apocrypha because it's the name of the dude that authored the Apocrypha. His name is Judas Aristobulus. He is in the Bible as well. He's in the Bible too. He's not just in the, he's in the New Testament, which came after the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha was here first. They snatched it out. THEY, all caps. They snatched it out. Nobody said the Most High inspired them to remove those books. Talk to me about what, you can't really talk to me about nothing, because I'm going to do what I'm led to do at this point. I'm not going to do what people tell me to do. But if I am going to listen, it will be about books that never made it. Probably not gonna listen to you about a whole book they took. There was 13 books. 13 books, not 13 chapters. They took out 13 books from out that Bible. Yeah. And I didn't even start from the beginning. I have not read all of the Apocrypha because I believe that I was being led to a certain book. And when I tell you to a certain book, I'm talking about for 10 years plus. I got the name. More than 10 years. More than 10 years. My daughter's grandmother had that book when they were little girls. Little girls. And she used to talk about the book of Maccabees. But she was scared to read it back then. And guess what she did? She threw it away. Because my daughters, when they became teenagers, tried to go back and get it from me. That's how long this thing been. Study to show thyself approved. You can catch it. Or you can leave it. But it's a thing that the Most High is doing through me that I'm going to be just like was told to me. If I'm on this joker, because I got this before I even knew. I promise y'all, I thought I was going to be in a church building. By the time I really let it sink in that I was going to do something, I thought I was going to be in a church building because I kept getting it. Don't nobody sit in them seats. You better still talk. So it'll be times that I come up here that don't nobody be really say 0 views, ain't nobody watching, and I still talk. Societal oppressor, political oppressor, ecclesiastical oppressor. The Lent fast, that's one of the biggest Roman Catholic traditions that I know of in the Christian church. But I watched Larry Reed, and he talked about the Roman Catholic Church, and then immediately went on TikTok to watch a young man speak about the Roman Catholic Church in comparison. I've heard so many times that America is Babylon. See, this is another reason why your mind got to be right, because it's while this is about encouragement and wanting to see you reach your highest God power, there's more. And if your mind ain't right on this platform, it can't handle it. But the Lord ain't gonna let me just be dropping stuff. But this platform is meant to challenge you to think critically. Because while you're looking at all the wrong things, and I say the wrong things because the Most High already told me, not that I condone your wrongs, but don't dwell on them. You can't beat me up about what I may already beat myself up for, first and foremost. I have enough people telling me don't beat yourself up. I have to tell the person that told me the most, don't beat herself up, because she steady told me don't beat myself up. Now you want to be beating yourself up. That's my enemy 3000. How you going to do what you tell me don't do? Not just any of that work. So you're not supposed to be following the Roman Catholic Church. I do not believe that is going to end there. I believe that study and the information that the Most High brings me on that will be coming continually. At this, like I said, today was something different about today. And I'm so tired because I done misplaced my medicine, and I've been trying to find it before I just call and get another one. But I'm supposed to take the medicine every day. And when I don't take the medicine every day, when I say getting out of the bed, and I've had doctors to confirm it, getting out of the bed is my thyroid medicine is very much a challenge. So I went and got the medicine. I took it for about a week and then misplaced it and ain't took it in about a week. But I have to go ahead on and call because I can't find it. And I need for them to refill it because drained is not the word. Like, woo, buddy, this thyroid thing ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. All right. So, yes. So that's our ecclesiastical oppressor. And then we come to our political oppressor. And that's where I'm going to end it at. And it's not even any articles that I watched or anything like that. It was just a statement that Willie D made in reference to Robert Cremo, and how there's no accountability that's been taken in that situation. And Willie D is always going to make it a Blanc versus us. And I mean, you can't help those who do. You can't help but see what's going on in society. But the treatment and how there was no accountability taken in that case. And he goes on to say that America don't take responsibility or hold accountability. He goes on to say, let me see, where is it? Okay, he says America refuses to learn from its mistakes and get better. He says the lack of accountability is staggering, and the people's skill capacity to talk through rather than fight through is non-existent, basically. America has no people skills. So is it not a wonder that we have a country full of people that don't like to take responsibility for their actions? If we led by people who don't like to take responsibility for their actions? But just as though I said about just everyday people, us. So we ain't the 1%. They're not everyday people. They are the delusional. They are the tyrants that have tantrums, that start wars. I just made a video about that. Tyrants and tantrums. Tyrants are the things wars are made of. The word delusional is attached to the word child and tyrant. And the Bible verse that was attached to it basically said, babes will rule over them and princes will lead them. And it was speaking about child-minded people, delusional people is who will rule over you and who will lead you. And if your mind is not right, you'll allow yourself to be led by the Church of Rome, which you're not supposed to be being led by the Church of Rome. When your relationship becomes more of a personal relationship, you don't get scared to go against what you learned. Now you'll be rationalizing and okay with sitting in the relationship with Rome and tell me I'm wrong because the Most High keep making me see numbers and I got to go look them up. You're going to tell me I'm wrong and I'm evil while you follow the Church of Rome. Delusional people. We talking about delusional. And I have had a good long talk with y'all, and I have been on very much longer than I said that I was going to be on for a long time. And now I am about to go. I have done it. I have made it through. I thank y'all for sitting with me a spell, for chilling with me a spell. This is your girl, Sylvie 414, the Rough Edge Lady. And I'm going to check y'all out next Monday. I'll be live Mondays at 10 o'clock. Y'all can like and share if you choose. And I'm going to check y'all later. And hopefully on Monday, I'll be able to have already talked to my daughters. I meant to really talk to them today. But I just been going, trying to get prepared. Like this be a mental day for me. It really be a mental day for me, getting prepared for today. That's why I told them I couldn't work on today. When I went back to the company, I can't work on Mondays. If I got to do this at 10 o'clock at night, just the fact that I got, like I said, I don't put on the whole face full of makeup. Just the fact that I got to put on makeup and I say I gotta, because that is what I believe part of my instruction were. I can't make your instruction and your walk be no different, but I know what my instruction and my walk is, and I know what the Most High spoke to me. So makeup is a part of this work. And I'm gonna do you one better, because the 1 week that I ain't put it on, I don't know if I said that on the platform. Look, I said I was about to go, and I am. I don't know if I said that on the platform or if I said that to one of my people. But the one week that I think I just put on my eyelashes. I don't even think I did my eyebrows. I'm finna go anyway. I don't even think I did my eyebrows. But when I say it did not transfer the same way that it transfers over when my face is made up, and that's something I learned early on. People on TV wear makeup, and they wear makeup because it does not transfer over the same. You don't look your best. And the Most High told me to look my best. The Most High said use your looks and your beauty. And I'm not hard as I've walked to even have confidence in my own looks. I don't look. I called ugly the other day at work, and I laughed at that girl. Is that the best you got, baby? Because you cannot get me there. You better come a little harder than that. And not only my look, because I had to work hard for both of them, the looks and the beauty, because the beauty is here. And I ain't saying that I have not been a nice person, because I tend to think I've always been nice. But when you're doing self-work, you know that there's some ugly spaces in you. And I know I can be not nice. I know I can be not nice. So yes. But nobody wants to get, I don't. If I ain't getting ready to go hit a club up, and I ain't even no clubber, and who's clubbing in COVID, but I generally am not putting on makeup in the late night hours. And just imagine when the Most High called me to come out here more than once a week. That means I got to put this makeup on. I love y'all. I thank y'all for sitting with me for a spell. And I am out. I'm out, y'all. I'm out. This one won't go off. Oh my God. Facebook won't go off. Live stream. What? Look, I ain't even air you.